Okay, we're back with Mandalorian Season 2. The story continues, but is it good? It's good!
It's good!
It's really good! Before we get into it, here at Pupcorn, we'd love for you to like and subscribe, become a part of our Pupper Pack, because we've got plenty more fun goodies lined up.
All the things.
So where we last left off with Season 1, Giancarlo Esposito, who we know from Chupacabra Terror, is on the hunt for the child because he's like, you have something that belongs to me, I'm going to take it by force.
Yeah.
So Mandalorian's like, I gotta find another Mandalorian to help me get this child
back to its
people.
Own world.
Its own world, wherever it belongs. So the quest begins, and he starts off in like these slums that look like Midgar from Final Fantasy.
It's kind of terrifying.
A very different area from what we're used to Star Wars.
Yeah, it's very urban.
Mm-hmm.
So like modern urban. There's graffiti everywhere. It's very dark. It's
There's
almost
creatures,
like
glowing eyes in the
yeah.
darkness.
Well, I mean, I don't see that when I like walk down like a graffiti covered area, but it adds to the vibe.
Yeah. And the child's like,
Yeah. He's like, Dad, lock the doors. Dad, lock the doors. He didn't close his little case yet. That comes when they go into like the underground.
Oh, he doesn't flat
fighting
out.
ring.
Nope.
Yeah. So like to add to this whole location that they're going to, he goes to like this underground fight. I would tell you more about it, but the first rule is I can't. But this huge fight breaks out and like guns are pulled and the child is just like, no, and he just closes his little bassinet.
A nice attention to detail.
Yeah.
The creatures in the ring are actually Jabba's palace guards.
Yeah.
Those big, like, boar-looking things. So that was neat.
Yeah, it was fun to see. But I really love that it shifted from, like, the urban, like, decay,
Yeah.
back to Western. But it went really easily.
Yeah, it was a smooth transition.
Yeah, so, because that was the first thing, like, that's one of the first scenes that we see is him going to this, like, underground urban place. And then I'm like, oh no, like, they got rid of the Western! And then I was like, no, just kidding.
We're going back to Tatooine!
Yeah.
Which, for a moment, I cringed, because I was just like, Tatooine, when it comes to Star Wars, Tatooine is very overutilized. So it's just like, oh
Anakin,
no. Anakin, Luke Skywalker, like, it's a big planet, but it's just like, as much as I love the band, I'd hate to It's just like, remember this from your childhood?
Yeah.
It's like Disney Star Wars have overdosed on that.
That's one thing that I know both of us were really worried about. Whenever we first started watching Mandalorian and like the second season coming out, and we started seeing like, and this person's gonna be here, and this person is featured, and you're gonna see this and this and this, and we're just like, oh no, it's gonna be like season 32 of Star Wars. Like,
yep.
So, but I think that they put just enough in that it's still the Mandalorian.
And they also expanded on it. Like, we get to see Womp Rats, a Krayt Dragon.
They're so
like,
cute.
Womp Rats I remember from, like, the Super Nintendo video game growing up. So it was cool to, like, see an actual, like, visual of them. And, like, a Krayt Dragon. Oh, my God. We'll get to that.
Oh,
So
that
he
was really
goes on Tatooine, and he's looking for a Mandalorian, and he comes across the Marshal,
Yes.
who is very much not a Mandalorian.
You can tell from the second you see him because his stance. Like,
Yeah.
he's got a very, like, sheriff, old Western sheriff.
Yeah, he's very much like-
ready to go, like, you know.
In this world, there's two kinds of people. Those with loaded guns, and those who dig. You dig.
Happy Thanksgiving, Pilgrim. Like, I mean, just his stance is wrong for a Mandalorian, but he's wearing Boba Fett's armor,
Yes.
so it's like, we were kind of like, is that going to be him? But I'm really glad that they didn't make it.
Yeah, it turns out it's Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, I love
Who
him.
I know from Live Free or Die Hard.
And I know from Santa Clarita Diet.
Yeah, that word.
That word. He has a really hard time saying.
I didn't recognize him at first because he had the beard.
Oh, he has a beard from Santa Clarita, so I was just
But,
like, oh, that guy. I didn't know his
Yeah,
name
Amanda's
at
like,
first.
where'd you get that armor? And he's like, some Jawas gave it to me.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to hand it over, I'm going to blast you. And you think you're going to have a shootout.
Yeah, and like they set it up beautifully for that shootout of even the bartender's like slowly creeping away.
Yep.
It's like, I don't want any part of this.
The child's like hiding in a vase. It's like, he's like
That
looking
was
at
so
the
cute. He was,
bartender.
like, peeking
If
out.
I were you, I'd hit the deck soon.
yeah.
But the ground starts to shake. And this huge, like, sand leviathan just bulldozes through the village. And that's our Krayt Dragon.
Yeah.
And that
Because we were trying to think of like what it was going to be whenever it was just rippling the sand. We were like, what is it?
Yeah, I thought Sarlacc at first, but I'm like, no, Sarlaccs are dormant.
I went straight to Beetlejuice and went sandworms.
Or Dune, because we've seen the trailer recently,
Dune.
and I was just like,
I am
holy
currently
shit!
reading Dune, so it could have been the sandworms.
So they come across an agreement, and they're just like, hey, help me kill this thing, and I'll just give you the armor.
Yeah. So that's one thing that, like, I know you'd mentioned it as we were watching, like, okay, this is a side quest. It's, to develop all these characters, and I love that the development is mainly focusing on Mando, and he's, like, becoming sort of a diplomat.
Yeah.
Like, not in the, like, he's gonna take off the suit kind of way, but
he doesn't get overly aggressive to either the Sand People or the people of Tatooine Village.
It's
not Mos Eisley, it's Mos something else.
Like, he literally comes to an agreement with, like, this town, this little village, and the Sand People, and is like, okay, this is how you all are going to keep the peace.
Yeah.
So whoever breaks it first, like, it's on you.
Yep.
But if we help each other, then, like,
we're going to kill the beast.
Literally bringing these communities together in a weird way. Like, they're not friends, but they have this peace agreement.
Which is slightly different from the episode in season 1 where he comes across that village in the forest, and he's just like, you guys are in over your heads. Yeah. I'm just here for money.
Yeah. So it is, like, we see that development happening with him, which is really, really cool to see.
I think Cara Dune got a little...
Yeah, she's like, get your shit together! But just, like, being able to see him progress through, like, his character was really, really cool. In this episode, we get to see it almost all come to fruition with his development as a person. He's getting his dad mojo on.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it makes me excited for, like, where we're going with these next couple episodes. Because I really enjoyed this. I liked how, like, it didn't shove Star Wars in my face because I was worried. And, like, even at the end, there's, like, a shadowy figure. It's just like, who could that be?
It, like, cleared up a lot of my concerns that they were going to turn it from The Mandalorian into, like, again, Star Wars part whatever.
Yeah.
Because
something the sequel trilogy, like, overdoses on.
Right.
Like, Rogue One
whenever they were, like...
a lot of throwbacks to A New Hope.
Right. So when they were like, we're going to see Boba Fett, and I'm like, well, Boba Fett's dead in the movies, so, like... how's this gonna work? And then it wasn't Boba Fett, it was just his armor.
Yeah.
And I had that sigh of relief until the end and the shadowy figure when you're like, I bet that's Boba Fett going to get his armor. And I'm like, no! I'm not ready yet.
Wrong.
But it is a possibility because that's something that was kind of like given to us, was that Boba Fett was gonna be there.
Yeah. But we have a couple episodes left to go. So we'll be back with the next couple episodes to get our thoughts. So far, it's still looking good. It's still great. I'm usually worried with, like, a continuation of the next season. Like, will it still hold that momentum? Will lightning strike twice? I have the same worry with Witcher Season 2.
Yeah.
Because I really love the first season. But we'll see. So far, we're off to a banging good start with great characters, great design. Like, it doesn't even start the same as, like, a traditional Star Wars movie.
No, it has that very dark vibe.
Silhouettes of, like, the classic Star Wars characters. And then we have the ending where it's not da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's storyboards.
Yeah, it's
set to the main theme.
It's definitely a darker
beautiful
tone, which is so... Oh, God, I love them. You're like, all right, I'm going to get up. And I'm like, there are still, like, 4 storyboards left. Where are you going? It's definitely something. We'd love to hear your opinions on the first episode. If you've watched it, let us know what you thought down below. Any, like, fun Easter eggs that you saw, because we saw a couple that are just kind of really fun to point out as you're watching. So let us know in the comments what you thought.
Yeah, be sure to subscribe, become part of our Pupper Pack. We'll see you in episode 2.
Toodles!
Cheers.
Cheers.